So what will it take for you men to understand, and for you, especially for you women, what will it take for you to understand that feminism, as well as the female movement of the 1970s, has absolutely nothing to do with protecting women, voting rights, equality, job opportunities? It has nothing to do with any of that. The entire feminist movement, the entire female revolution of the 1970s was all about one thing: lesbian acceptance. Lesbians hate men. Lesbians hate the family. Lesbians want women to run free and wild and have promiscuous sex so therefore they can have a slice of that piece of pie. Do you get it? All the rest of the things that they hid behind, like female empowerment, equality, that's all smoke and mirrors. It all comes down to lesbian acceptance. Because in that time, lesbians were not accepted. They were considered freaks. But now, they're running free and wild and doing whatever they want to. Don't you get it? The only people that are benefiting from feminism are lesbian couples. The only people that have any perks out of feminism are lesbians. Feminists have driven women to lesbianism. Don't you get it? It's right there staring you in the face. Every tiny, itty-bitty, little shitty detail of feminism would only have perks for lesbians. Look at everything that feminism has done, and you will see one thing in common. It benefits the lesbian. It was created for lesbian acceptance. And that they went around and spun it around a little bit and they started calling it female empowerment. They knew what they were doing. They were driving the women away from the men so that they could pick up the pieces of the broken women and have them for themselves. And the women have just fallen for it hook, line, and sinker. Because female empowerment raised the ego levels. Yeah, we're special. We're better than men. Yay! No, you're not. You're not at all. If you were better than men, you would never ask men in the 1970s for double standards. You wouldn't still be complaining in 2014 and spend 60 years trying to get equality and still not have it. Don't you get it? You cannot have what does not exist. Men are stronger, men are faster, men are bigger, men are better. And you can fight that for 60 years if you want to, but you'll never get anywhere. Everything about feminism is one gigantic lie. And sadly, the men don't see it because they were not born in the 70s. They were not born in the 80s. They're born in the 90s and 2000. They don't know any better. But men give women double standards. When we gave them double standards, we put them on a pedestal. We gave them a head start in life. Because they came up to us and go, now that we're free and we're no longer, being mothers and being married and having decent lives, now that we are free, we are finding it very hard in society to make a dent. We need male help to make a dent. We need double standards. Men, seeing them as weaker, more frail, decided to give them double standards. This was the female revolution in the 1970s. To ask men for help. Then in the 80s, thanks to Janet Jackson, for example, who came out with that stupid song, What Have You Done For Me Lately, it snowballed. But here's the thing. If feminism and feminists were to only want equality, don't you think they have it by now? Why are they still fighting? Why have they spent 60 years now fighting? I mean, surely in 60 years, what will men be able to do in 60 years? The Temple of Solomon was built in 45 years. That's just one of the things that men could do. Hitler destroyed the entire world within 5 years. Took out most of Europe. So please tell me why feminists have needed 60 years to have equality. Doesn't make any sense, does it? To need 60 years, 60 years to have equality. They go out screaming all day long, men are rapists, men are pigs, men are murderers, and they plaster posters up everywhere saying, don't let men rape, don't let men abuse. It's all nonsense. It has nothing to do with equality. They don't want equality. They could care less about equality. Feminism was designed to let the lesbians in, for lesbians to have acceptance. It is that simple, it is that easy to see, and if you bother to look at history, you will see it too. Women already had surpassed equality when men gave them double standards. The moment that men started bowing down to women, they had more than equal share. Because before, women had equal share, but they didn't see it like that because men were stronger. So men became weaker to make women stronger. And now women are going, we're the stronger sex, we're the stronger sex, we're the stronger sex. No, you're not. Not at all. Because at any time a man can kick that pedestal out from underneath you and you will see how far beneath you are to men. That's not sexist. That's not, what do you call, I guess the feminists would call that patriarchy. No, it's not. It's truth. Men bow down to women, but once we stop bowing, women will know how far they are behind men. You're not special. You're not above men. You are so beneath men you have no idea. If society were to kick out all the pedestals out from women, you would all realize how far beneath men you are. This is why women had double standards in the first place. How can you have double standards and at the same time say you're stronger? That's like me, for example, starting a race with somebody, me getting a 200-yard head start in a 500-yard race, then I win and go, ha ha ha, I'm stronger, yay, look at me, I'm stronger, yay. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Men put women ahead so that women could have a head start. Because we knew they were weaker, we knew they were frailer, we knew who women were. So the kindness of men has been pooped on, pissed on, and shit on, and just taken and flushed down the toilet. And women's attitudes now, because men have helped them out so much, are like, we don't need men, we don't need men, we don't need men. That's funny, because every time a woman goes to the store, she's already used like 20 men. 2 men to empty out the truck, about 10 men inside of a factory storing all the stuff so they can put into the truck, then the people that work in the store. See, you need men, and men do not need women. It's that simple. 2013, United States of America. More men were raped than women were. Which is quite bizarre when you consider the fact that rape statistics include female prisons. So when you see 1,000 women were raped, it doesn't mean that men did it. It could just be very well some butch woman that did it in prison. You don't know. Leaving the false notion that it's male on female rape. When the statistics come out of rape, they do not say female on female, male on female. It just says rape statistics. Leaving again the false notion that it's male on female. Same thing with domestic violence. If 2 lesbos are fighting, and they both are vindictive, and they both go to the police, and they both make reports, that's 2 women added to the reports, and added to the stats. Leaving once again the false notion that it's male on female violence. Despite the fact that lesbians are very well known to be the most violent relationships of all the couples. So there you go. After 60 years, feminists are still demanding equality, but they don't mean equality for men and women, that they're equal. What they mean is for homosexuals and straight people to be equal. And all of the women in the world who have jumped on the bandwagon of feminism have only supported being lesbians. It had never anything to do with voting rights. It never had to do with equal job opportunities, because you already had all that. There's been no change in the last 60 years. Let's look at Saudi Arabia, for example, the way they treat women. Do you see feminists going over there and solving that? No. Do you see them making anything that's of any importance whatsoever? No. Because all they're after is homosexual rights. Rights in society. Rights to not be bashed. Rights to not be, treated as a minority for being homosexual. Feminism never had anything to do with girl power, girl rights, female equality. Nothing like that at all. It was all about the homosexuals having their right to be accepted and to be free. So all the women out there who have considered feminism to be something like some kind of push for women to be better than men, sorry, you're just taking part in the homosexual movement. And it's time you know that. Because feminists do not care about other women. They don't care at all. All they want is gay and equal rights. I mean, ask yourself, why is it after 60 years they're still demanding equal rights, even though they have more rights than men do? Because it has nothing to do with women. It has everything to do with homosexuality. Even today, in 2014, the homosexuals do not have equality. You hear them crying out for equality every single moment they speak. They've been screaming it out for 60 years. Yet women already have equality. They always did. Now they even have more rights than men do. So why are they not happy? I'll tell you. Because it has nothing to do with women. It has everything to do with the fact that gay men and gay women cannot get married. Do you get it? They still scream for equality because not in every single state can you get married as a homosexual or lesbian couple. Duh. Every woman that has fallen for the trap of feminism, they've fallen for a trap. You don't seem to get it. It's a trap. It has nothing to do with your rights. Women, it has nothing to do with your emancipation. Women, it has everything to do with gay people wanting the rights to get married, to be able to adopt children, and live their lives as equals to straight couples. Stop falling for the trap and wake the hell up.